It is August 20th, 2025, and we are being warned not to approach the zombie rabbits. This is Inverted World Live. Welcome back, everybody. This is Inverted World Live, and I'm your host, Shane Cashman. We are a call-in show for those new people out there. Our phone lines will be open in about 30 minutes. You want to call in, the link to do that is pinned in the chat on both Rumble and YouTube. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us a story, something interesting, strange, unexplainable, mysterious, dark, you name it. It could be about anything, or it could be about something we've talked about on the show today or some other day. We'd love to hear from you. I am, of course, joined by Brandon.
What is up, Shane? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the World Inverted. It is Wednesday, and we have some updates.
We do have some updates
for everybody, don't we?
Yep, we do. I spoke to Snake this morning via email. You might remember Snake the Bigfoot hunter. Very nice, very nice. I was trying to get him on tonight, but he said he was just too busy getting prepared for the New York State Fair, which is now underway. But I am hoping to get him in here. Perhaps it'll be through Zoom. It would be amazing to have him in the room with the Bigfoot corpse. If you did not watch last night, we're referencing Snake the Bigfoot hunter, who claims to have found a 8-foot tall Bigfoot corpse in the Adirondacks in New York and has it on display right now in the New York State Fair in the horticulture tent.
You think he would just? You think he'd oblige to just throwing it on his back and carrying it over here like he did when he got it out of the Adirondack?
Yeah, you do anything for truth, you know? And this is a massive story. You know, it's a massive undertaking, as he said. And I would love to hear more about that. If anyone out there happened to be at the New York State Fair today and spend that $7 to $9 to see the exhibit, I'd love to hear from you. That
Pics or it didn't happen.
Yes. So he seems open to joining us at some point. We'd love to hear more from him about all this. But we do have a little more from Snake in the form of an article I thought we'd go through real quick before we get to our rabbit stories. But before we do all that, I do also want to say I neglected yesterday to congratulate our friends at Pop Culture Crisis. It was our 900th episode. That's amazing. I just can't believe 900 episodes already. Shout out to them. Shout out to Brett and Mary. That's huge. Brandon was on the show.
I was actually on the 900th episode for like the second half of the show. They had Andrew on first. Super happy for those guys. 900 is a huge number. Yeah. And appreciate them having me on. Mary made me eat some like Selena Gomez flavored Oreo.
Oh, no. Are you okay?
Yeah, it was fine. It was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Was it like
so random?
Tastes like her tears when she finds out about people being
Justin
deported?
Bieber is cheating on her? I don't know. I don't know. The sweet, unfathomable tears of sadness.
Well, that's awesome. And it made us think last night, when we were talking about it after the show, Brandon and I, that we have our 100th episode coming up.
We do.
I think it'll be on like September 2nd because we are not here on the 1st.
Right after the holiday?
Yep. So keep that in mind, people. We're going to have a fun one. Don't know what's going to happen, but it will be fun no matter what it is. And I also wanted to say thank you to Kim Iverson. I did her show today. It was a lot of fun. We covered a lot of Inverted World stories, and it was a great time, great conversation. You can check that out on her Rumble page, which is at Kim Iverson Show. So shout out to Kim for that. I really appreciate you having me on. Anyway, Snake, the Bigfoot hunter. What's he up to? We got pictures. We got new pictures.
You guys got to get ready for this.
Are you guys ready? I hope you're sitting down. This is big.
I'm gonna count it down in 3, 2, 1.
Is that real hair? What do you think?
Is that real Bigfoot?
I'm gonna say yeah. Obviously, it's behind, like it's in a plexiglass display. So.
I was joking to Shane that he looks like he's about to drop the hottest mixtape of 2025 to date.
Yeah, it would be, and I'll support it. I hope it's on SoundCloud. You'll probably find it at gas stations. And I totally am already a fan of that mixtape. So this article, someone, I forget who it was, sent this to me on Twitter. I'm very sorry, I forget who it was. I just saw it and I was like, we got to talk about this because we had this picture. But it's from the Daily Sentinel. Is Bigfoot the New York State Fair's strangest attraction yet? Snake thinks so. He's just zooming in.
I'm trying to make him as big as possible.
So it's like he's here with us. So regardless of whether you believe in the creature, Charles Snake Stewart's Bigfoot's Remains exhibit seems a little out of place at the New York State's Fair Horticulture Building. Camped near flowers, produce, and butterflies, along with the alluring aroma of kettle corn and baked goods, it's hard to suspend disbelief as Stewart recalls how foul the creature smelled when he stumbled upon its decomposing body in the woods.
I was going to say they left out the smell of dead Wookiee.
Yeah, you got to go. You got to pay for all that. It's been at my Uncle Roy's house. It's my favorite sentence so far. The eternally sunglassed Stewart said.
It's a better.
I want to talk to Uncle Roy as well.
What?
Uncle Roy. Imagine that conversation. Hey, Uncle Roy, do you mind if I keep my Sasquatch corpse up at your spot?
Wait. Uncle Roy's got central air, doesn't he?
Yeah. Hey, Uncle Roy, we're coming through.
You got central air, don't you? Hey.
We have Bigfoot, and it smells like
I have a huge ask. I have a really big ask, Uncle Roy. Just hear me out.
This is probably not the first time Uncle Roy has had some sort of question like this.
What if he walked it straight to Uncle Roy's front door on his back, fresh from the woods, and was just like, hey, man.
I think he knew that. I think they have that kind of camaraderie and trust between them, and that they know that Snake knows he can trust Roy to hold down the Sasquatch corpse for any amount of time. Look at that, people. Look at that. This is a good image. He has a better ventilation system. It did smell quite bad, says Snake about Uncle Roy's house. Snake says he discovered the Bigfoot corpse in the Ha-di-ran-da wilderness region of the Adirondacks, not far from the Enchanted Forest water safari. These are good details.
Ha-di-ran-da.
Fake. The official Bigfoot's Remains website tells the story in full detail, and you all should go there, along with some hyper-specific scientific facts that are highly convincing.
That's a great sentence. Hyper-specific scientific facts that are highly convincing.
You know, I am very proud of this article already. Like, I'm glad that editors let this run. Will Phillips, the staff writer at the Daily Sentinel, shout out to you for getting all of this in. I am a huge fan already. Whether Stewart is or is not in possession of the greatest scientific discovery of the 21st century is in some ways beside the point. And I'm with you. He's truly excited about it. And that enthusiasm makes you want to go along for the show. Exactly. This is exactly how I feel. Stewart, a Fulton native, says he's always been fascinated by cryptozoology. Cryptozoology, by definition, is the study of hidden animals, which often includes mythological beasts like Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. Look at this. If you guys are watching, we have a bird's eye view of the Bigfoot corpse.
It kind of just looks like a super hairy, like homeless guy.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. This is like the people that used to be outside of the Chance in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah, we have a couple of these in Chicago.
Yeah, there's a few here right now.
They used to buy me alcohol, actually, at 7-Eleven
Exactly.
when I was like 16.
Exactly. I did not expect the face to be that way. But he did claim in what we saw yesterday that this was the missing link in human evolution. But it'd be great if he could bring the Loch Ness Monster to the New York State Fair next year. Also falling under the umbrella, for example, is the coelacanth, a very real creature that was thought to be extinct for millions of years until they randomly rediscovered them one day, because that was the over-under of that happening. But what was the over-under of that happening? Not very likely. But that lends more credence to the cryptozoologist's argument that maybe one day John Lithgow's co-star in Harry and the Hendersons might show up. Hopefully not in front of your station wagon. A great article. Bigfoot was kind of an escapism for me, Snake said, noting a bad breakup. He says he took to the woods for solace and began looking for Bigfoot with more grounded techniques. Now imagine Snake getting interviewed with his pit vipers on, telling you this sympathetic story about a breakup leading him into the woods for solace.
He touched on it slightly, but he didn't get into like the heartache and the tribulation of being in a relationship that had gone south.
Imagine being the girlfriend, oh, my boyfriend's always out trying to find Bigfoot. It must be hard on a relationship.
You're assuming he dated women.
Yeah, I am. I think this guy is just a straight up heterosexual,
The suspenders kind of threw me. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
No, the pit vipers, that is real. That's as real as you get.
The pit vipers might be real.
He says, my method involves a lot more stealth. kind of like embedding yourself into the actual forest.
Like wearing your sunglasses in the woods.
Well, that's very natural. There's something cavemen wore. Everyone knows cavemen did wear pit vipers. For what it's worth, Snake doesn't believe Bigfoot is an alien, which is a theory proposed by some.
I don't either.
That creates a kind of closed loop where the reason you can't find Bigfoot is because he's an alien. He only visits and then he jumps back off, so it's convenient. No, this is good. Interviewing Snake feels like what late-night talk show hosts must have felt interviewing professional wrestlers in the 1980s. You kind of knew it was fake, but you weren't sure it was fake. And you also didn't want to disrespect the craft. This writer rules. After all, you didn't want to get choked out like Richard Belzer at the hands of Hulk Hogan. But Snake, while definitely looking like he knows some chokeholds, seemed more on edge about people who might harm him. We've had death threats, he said, all sorts of crazy stuff, which is fine. I just tell them, please attend if you'd like. Check it out. And if you want to face to face with me, the Snake sometimes bites back.
He's got pythons.
Fisticuffs.
Dude, I love this because he's basically like, look, man, come down, pay the $7 to $9, and then if you want to square off, maybe Snake's your man.
If he's willing to square up with Bigfoot, anything's possible.
He squared up with dead Bigfoot.
He did. Well, yeah, it's still scary in my opinion.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he punched him in the face and was like, see that? I killed him. And took credit for his death too.
He says he hunted it. I mean, he does say he's a hunter. Are we doing like forensics to make sure that Bigfoot died of natural causes? No one's asked this question.
I am interested in knowing if we've done forensics to find out whose peepaw this is running around in a full-on hairsuit. He doesn't even need clothes anymore.
The rancor within the Bigfoot community is oddly heartbreaking. Double entendre. You'd think all parties would be on board to bring the beast to light. Makes you wonder if it's as cutthroat as, say, the herpetology community, where perhaps a discussion on tree frogs could turn ugly and spill out into the street. One of Snake's more intriguing claims is having had the creature's DNA sent to Cornell University, which is how we got the Neanderthal ties we talked about last night. But I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that. There is more reporting on Snake and his Bigfoot. And if you scroll down, do you see the bone?
Well, let me get through this next sentence here really quick, because I think this is a huge piece of this.
Yeah,
and remember, when we were talking about this yesterday, they stated that Cornell usually doesn't F with Bigfoot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes on to say that Jose Andres, a member of the faculty with Cornell University's Environmental DNA and Genomics core facility, was unaware of such studies. Our department has not been involved in any Bigfoot genetic analyses. Again, our department has not been involved in any Bigfoot genetic analyses, Andres said via email. I never thought I would be writing an email on this topic.
Sounds like a cover-up to me. We also have this quote with that picture of the bone. It's a little lower than this one.
Is it George Lucas just giving a PowerPoint presentation
Back
on this?
from the Titanic. So you see this bone before we scroll down any more. Do you know what this is? Did you see it yet? This?
That's a dick bone.
There you go. Which was the other title I had for tonight's show, but I figured I didn't want to do that.
Smells like Bigfoot's dick bone.
Yep.
Let's go, inverted world.
Man.
Let's go.
Most of his body, this is a quote, most of his body is anatomically human except for this anomaly, which is this reproductive bone. It's approximately the same length as a polar bear's penis bone. We think it helps them make love.
We think
it helps them make love. I don't know if Sasquatch makes love. I don't know if that's a sentence I ever really considered, but who am I? Maybe they are filled with love. But I want to make sure you guys saw that. That's important. Big time breaking news. So
I'm so glad I didn't want to look into this article at all until Shane read this live, because I like to have real reactions to this stuff while I'm reading it.
Yep.
And I'm really glad I didn't look at this one, because that's jaw-dropping right there.
And to connect this to other stories we've discussed, most of the things that we as in the scientific community, when it comes to these creatures, they out in California have, I want to say hundreds, if not thousands, of direwolf penis bones in there. They have a huge collection of those. So that is also a thing. If you ever want to visit, there's probably a museum for that.
Add it next to what is it? The pile of heads,
Cat heads,
and the pile of dick bones.
Yep. So
fantastic. That's just two corners of the room too. We got two left.
The world is bright. So what else we got going on for you guys? This rabbit situation's not going away. It's getting serious. Have you seen one yet in the wild? I've been looking.
I have not, thankfully.
Got my kids out there hunting them.
I've been looking for these pus sore covered squirrels too, and I haven't caught any of those lately. So I think I'm doing pretty good
for now.
But we're now getting warnings that maybe we shouldn't be approaching these things as if it wasn't obvious in the first place, just looking at them.
Just in case you didn't already know, the Daily Mail just last night said, outbreak of Frankenstein rabbits with face tentacles now poses threat to humans. Doctor warns which states disease will spread to next. Let's get into it. More Frankenstein rabbits are appearing across the United States, sparking fears of a wider outbreak. It's coming to a town near you. Originally spotted in Colorado, these bizarre rabbits with tentacle-like growth sprouting from their faces have now been reported in Minnesota, Nebraska, and South Dakota.
Thankfully, these are all places I'm not in a hurry to visit anytime soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have we have to have people stop flying there. I mean, we might have to seal these states off entirely. Sorry,
quarantine.
But it's time, you know. The animals are infected with cottontail rabbit papillomavirus, also known as Shope papillomavirus, which can be spread through mosquito and
rabbit
tick bites.
HPV.
Yes. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more. I don't know how much to get into it in this one, but while humans cannot contract CRPV, Dr. Omer Awan of the University of Maryland School of Medicine cautioned that people could still face risks from other diseases carried by ticks or mosquitoes that have fed on infected rabbits. You're not going to get CRPV, and you likely won't show symptoms of it, Dr. Awan told the Daily Mail.
But
However,
you can still totally die.
Yeah, but you will also become a zombie, and you'll be dead, and no one will know. However, you could still be indirectly exposed through ticks or mosquitoes that have fed on infected animals, which means you might contract a different disease.
This is just a mite. This is doesn't mean you're going to get sick if you come in contact with one of these animals or if you have, so don't take that as a threat. This is just a whole series of just happenstances that could occur.
Yep. Potentially. Indeed, illnesses spread by disease-carrying pests to humans include Lyme disease and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, both spread by ticks.
Both of those suck.
Big time. I have had Lyme. Terrible. West Nile virus, Zika virus, dengue fever, and chikungunya are all spread by mosquitoes and can be fatal in severe cases.
Chikungunya.
Yep. Look at this picture of this rabbit. Scroll down just a bit. Look at this thing with these tentacles coming out of its mouth.
Hey, he's got a full-on beard, this guy. He looks like that's a playoff beard. That's a playoff beard.
That's all this is.
He just looks ready to me.
Misdiagnosing this. So that's from a Reddit user who posted that photo. It's from Minnesota in late July. And the other photo beneath it's even worse. My goodness. That's from Colorado.
I got to find a picture of Zur here because there is a character in Destiny 2 that has this going on, and I have to make this joke. As a Destiny player, he has literal tentacles for his face here.
Ooh.
If you can see. So I've actually, as an avid Destiny player, I have been calling this Zur syndrome, is what these rabbits have.
Is he a rabbit beneath the cloak?
No, his will is not his own. He is controlled by the Nine, which are an anomaly of creatures in existence that apparently guide and work with the timeline and all things to become and all things before. So This guy is basically a traveling servant of them who has no idea what he's doing. When he's under their control, it's almost like that. What the hell is that show where they go to work and they don't know that they're doing it, and then they wake up and they're in their other body after work.
Sure.
Severance.
Oh yeah. I didn't see that. Yeah,
it's basically like Severance, where he's at work and he doesn't know it, and then he just wakes up in random places after he's been used by them.
Wow. Okay.
So
Interesting.
I'm waiting. That's almost like a zombie-like type of significance here, that I'm waiting to see if these rabbits just, we start getting calls from rabbits who have lost time.
So yeah, with that in mind, if anyone does come across one of these rabbits and you do have a hazmat suit, approach it and ask it, who do you work for?
Yeah, ask it a series of pre-calculated questions.
Yeah, be ready. Prepare for this. The doctor emphasized that humans cannot get CRPV, and they also cannot get tick-borne diseases or mosquito-borne diseases from CRPV. The reason for this is the rabbit virus will not replicate in a tick or mosquito for it to be transmitted to humans. Still, the doctor said the best course of action is to avoid contact with infected rabbits and ensure any pet rabbits are protected from insects. He also warned Americans should prepare for the possibility of seeing even more cases of this grotesque condition spreading beyond the Midwest in the coming years. Because temperatures are becoming warmer, okay? So now we're getting to climate activism. We're going to start to see it become more prevalent as the years go on, and also to spread in areas where it hasn't been before.
Are they saying this is like heat induced?
Yeah, he's trying to, sounds like it's a subtle way of saying climate change is causing tentacles to grow on rabbit faces.
I mean, I'm all for the climate change argument, but that's just bullshit. That's just raw bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, agreed. And I have some things to back that up, actually. We have a series of states already in the Midwest, but perhaps it could go even more south in the United States, maybe Southwest as well. He's just throwing things out there. I do believe that this will become more of an increasing problem as time goes on. Dr. Awan noted that it's extremely unlikely that CRPV will eventually jump to humans. He said extremely unlikely.
Didn't he just say that it wasn't possible?
Yeah, right. But now it's extremely unlikely does mean there is a chance.
So odds are getting worse as we go on.
Yeah, even as cases among rabbits grow, but he admitted that it's not completely impossible. You can never say never with science or with viruses because they always mutate and things can change very fast. But I don't see that happening in the near future. And as we know, with COVID, you eat bat soup, you get COVID, right? That's what I heard. The latest sightings posted on social media have moved north of Colorado, reaching several major cities in central Minnesota. There we have it. Look at this picture. My goodness. So,
dude,
it's bad.
This thing's like eating this rabbit's brain.
Yeah, that's definitely not good. That can't be good.
He looks pissed. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I wouldn't be happy about that either.
So it goes into just other rabbits that have been captured, and not much else. But I did want to bring this up.
Dude, they're citing other creatures that have this too. This is a giraffe that's covered in these things.
That one's insane.
This looks like a sheep or something, or a cow over here that's got a bunch of shit going on.
Let's look at it really quick. Maybe there's an ad that's going to pop up and try to MK Ultra us. But that giraffe, I did see videos of that one earlier. It's
you know what? This is a PH article. This is an archive article. This isn't live.
So the thing with this is, it is obviously bizarre and becoming a new distraction from the Epstein files, other than Bigfoot, of course. But this is nothing new. Richard Shope, a virologist, discovered this in the 30s, which is why they call it the Shope papillomavirus. And he discovered this, I forget what day or what year, but it was in the 30s. And oddly enough, they say this is what, I'm sure you can all imagine this inspiration, but this is what inspired the jackalope, which was also popularized in the 1930s. So it's been going on for quite some time. There has been no record of this jumping to humans yet, but who knows? Maybe someone's going to eat one of these things.
It's unlikely now, not impossible.
Extremely unlikely, but not impossible. Words to live by. But it is similar to HPV, which then also got me down the rabbit hole of how much Henrietta Lacks's immortal DNA has been used to help cure HPV. And the HPV vaccine for humans has Henrietta Lacks's DNA in it. And for those who don't remember Henrietta Lacks, we talked about her a while back. She was discovered to have immortal DNA, and they basically took biopsies from her cervical cancer, and without her consent, they just kept using it. And what did we say? There was like 20,000?
11,000 patents.
Based on her DNA that
we know of,
that doesn't die. Her DNA is immortal, so they say.
Yeah, which means basically they're able to split her cells.
Yep.
And they just keep replicating.
It's wild. That is a crazy story, and they use her for so many different things, different technologies. And the other thing I thought that was funny about this story, I was talking to Grok. I've been thinking a lot about AI and what it knows, how it talks back to you. And I asked Grok, how do rabbits get the Shope papillomavirus? To which it said it gets it from mosquitoes and ticks. And I said, well, I asked it, how do the ticks and mosquitoes get the Shope papillomavirus? And it said it gets it from biting rabbits infected with the Shope papillomavirus. So it's just this loop. I'm like, where does it start? So I guess it just mutates within the rabbits, and other forms of it, similar to it, do appear in other animals, like that giraffe, which is completely covered in these giant warts that are really disturbing. But I don't think anyone really really have any answers. And this is almost 100 years old that they've at least been observing that Richard Shope observed for the first time officially in his lab in the 30s. He's done a lot of work with virology. So I don't think it's something to be concerned about.
Well, thankfully, the only thing they threatened us with were diseases that we've known about and people have been getting for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you can go back and find articles within the past 3 years of this happening in very localized settings, this Shope papillomavirus in the cottontail rabbit. But this is new to see it in so many places at the same time. So I imagine it will show up in other places. And if you guys see one, you know where to send those pictures. I guess before we get to calls, let's do the Robot Olympics really quick. Let's just take a look at that video.
How could I forget? The Robot Olympics.
I was going to bring it up the other day, but it was after the whole pregnant robot thing, and I had enough of robots, but we can't not look at this. Of course it's in China.
Oh, well, where else would it be?
Look at these things. Just 5 Joe Bidens without the flesh.
Yang fan. Yep, move over, Dana White.
像之前的这个新能源汽车一样，它在最开始发展的那一年和10年之后的现在，也是一个飞速发展的过程。对我们觉得接下来未来。
Wow, that is exciting. Wow.
Yellow card.
Wow.
You're out of the game.
Do they have to pick them up?
He tripped the shit out of 3 of those robots.
Does the ref have to go pick up the robots after they fell? Was there an article attached to this? I forget. I only saw the video. I think it might have just been a video.
It really just looks like it's the video published with like a little thing here. I want to see if after this stupid.
But these happen. This is nothing. It's not the first one. They keep doing this, and robots from all around the world compete. Optimus is there. All the famous robots. Joe Biden's there. But yeah, it says 280 teams.
No, I think that was the whole thing.
500 humanoid robots from 16 countries, all competing in the most exciting Olympics around, the Robot Olympics.
That's funny. I wonder if they're considered nationals.
I hope so. You think there's going to be another one above that where like they whittle it down to just the best 50 robots, and we see?
Or do you think we're going to see a mass influx of robots coming from other countries trying to immigrate to America?
Yes, I do. We're going to have a robot immigration problem.
Oh, man.
That is next. We're going to have the robots birthing clones that they've been creating in Elon Musk's artificial womb facility, but also wayward robots from other countries that they're seeking asylum.
I don't know why Tim's worried about the population problem. I don't see one. It looks like we are about to double our numbers. They're just not really going to be actual humans.
Yep.
So
who else is going to do our landscaping and our laundry, if not robots? That's what I always say.
I definitely hate doing laundry. I'm considering just assimilating to the entire thing just to have my laundry done for me.
Don't do it.
You know what? If he lets me live for 10 years before he murders me in cold blood and does something with my bank account, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he will just take over, and then they'll print out a skin that looks somewhat like you.
Or he'll just use mine.
Yeah, or he'll just undo yours. Yeah. That's interesting. I haven't thought about that yet. Hide your knives when you have robots in the house.
Hide your kids, hide your knives.
So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, leaving comments, being in the chat. It's awesome to have you here with us, and we should get to some callers.
All right.
Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat while we wait.
Yeah, let me bring that up really quick, too.
Renee says she actually likes doing laundry. Interesting.
It helps if you play a drinking game before you have to do a load.
I just can't do it. No, I do it all the time. I have 3 kids. It's just nonstop laundry. We're always doing laundry.
I can't even imagine.
It is nonstop.
I have enough clothes myself.
Yep. Yeah. Someone Benjamin saying if robot's the drinking word, I'm not making past 10:45. So maybe it's robot, robot. Oh, jeez.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can get Gingerbeard in here.
Marcus Aurelius says they're remote controlled. I bet a lot of those are.
Gingerbeard, please activate your mic.
Synchrotron says it's like these guys have never seen a sci-fi movie. No, I think they have. If you're talking about the people making the robots, I think they have and they want that. I think they are building towards Skynet and they know it. And they're just going to show us the clumsy robots.
And if you're talking about us, sci-fi movies are probably one of our favorite things to watch.
That's all I watch. I was raised on sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
Your beard is ginger, but your mic is missing.
Oh, someone said South Park was funny tonight. I didn't hate the last one. I know it got a lot of flack. I thought it was all right. I mean, like I've said before, South Park can have one great episode, and it makes up for 50 bad ones. What's going on?
Hey, my bad. That was it's a little different than last time.
Oh, it's all good. How are you? What's up?
Doing all right. Doing all right. I just wanted to say that last week the guest was really epic, and that was a really great show. You had Mary on there to do a little side interviewing too, so
She was great.
that was really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to see that guy come back because I'd like to hear some more of those exorcism stories. That was really interesting.
Yeah, I'm planning on having him back at some point because we went over and I felt like we only scratched the surface because I'd like to hear more about his personal experiences with doing exorcisms, but I like getting into the nitty gritty of the theology and the difference between the theologies. That's why I knew Mary would be great for that episode.
Yeah, she was pretty great too, and it's always fun watching Mary on the IRL, and I thought it was cool to see her on here too.
Yep, she's an assassin.
But anyways, I kind of wanted to, instead of getting into the world of spinal cord injuries this night, I kind of wanted to get into a guest that was on the IRL last week, and that was Awesome Jew Adam King.
Yep.
The guy is pretty wild, I have to say. Has anyone brought up the subject of the red heifer, or do you know anything about that?
Okay, so I got a whole story for this. So I have
perfect.
a mutual friend with Mr. Adam King, and someone I really respect, and he was going to be with Adam King on, I don't know what day that was. This weekend. It was a Saturday. So I was like, all right, I'm coming by. I have a lot of questions. I thought that was, I don't know Adam. I do now, but I didn't know of him. I've seen clips. I've only heard of the red heifer thing in the past few years. He says that's a thing that's been talked about for a while. But I definitely had a lot of questions and criticisms about his debate and his performance. I think he was nice. We had a nice time. We talked. And it was great. But I'm like, first of all, where do you get your information on Adam in the Garden of Eden being able to walk through walls and have telekinesis?
Right.
Because I don't see that in the Bible. I don't see it in the Old Testament. So it turned into this whole conversation about how he defines the canon of literature within Judaism. He's an Orthodox Jew, and he has this. So I'm like, where does it extend? We know about the Talmud, and there's lots of that. We can go a whole rant about the Talmud, but he's not getting that information from the Talmud. He's not getting it from the Old Testament. And what he tells me is he's getting that information from other writers, and I believe the writer that wrote about the walking through walls stuff is from the 1800s. So then I'm like, well, where are the limits to your canon, because other Orthodox Jews would say the books are closed. The Old Testament closed, and it's only five books, and our Old Testament in the Bible is many books that they don't use. So if it's not that and it's not the Talmud, where is this? And so it extends outward, which then becomes like within, kind of might remind people of the theological debates between Catholics and Protestants and the Nicene Creed and, who's writing what when. So, it wasn't so much canon, but that's where he was drawing inspiration from. And other people that were in this conversation were saying they never heard of the red heifer until recently. And then, so I asked, like, how do you, Adam, have the authority to like be the person to announce this? Because it's a ritual, it's a big deal according to him, within the Jewish community to usher in their Messiah, which, Christians obviously don't believe in that, because Christians believe that our Messiah came and died for our sins, and that's was resurrected, and it's a profound reality in the Christian community, which was another thing I said to him. I was like, it's kind of weak, I thought, in your debate to use the Unitarians as your example for as your example for Christians not believing Jesus is God, right? Because Christians, by and large, believe in the Trinity and that Jesus is God. So it just went kind of in circles, because we're never going to agree on this. But I found it really interesting, and I was certainly shocked at the what he was saying on IRL with the ashes, because he believes that those ashes are magical and that they can cleanse people, and it's basically just their version of the ultimate sacrifice. But he kept telling me this was performative, right? But it's also a ritual. So it's hard to draw that line between, well, what makes it performative and what makes it actually ritual, if you are literally telling me you are using a perfect red heifer. I'm putting that in quotes, because they have all these guidelines on what makes a red heifer. But also you're using this rabbi that you said never left his house, because it has to be done. The sacrifice has to be done by someone pure, someone clean. So it seems to me like that was a real ritual to bring about the Messiah, but for the Jews. But I thought it was fascinating. I love those conversations, and then where people are drawing, what texts are you drawing from? Because the Adam I know, the Eden I know, those things weren't. I think it was a magical place, a beautiful place, but I thought that was interesting, and so I and then when he was saying that it was heresy to Tate, that's not good either, brother. But I think it's just wild. It was a wild thing to see, and I did enjoy the conversation, and it was very controversial what he was doing on IRL. I was like, I thought you were a reverse Borat. I thought you were just in a bit, because it was almost caricaturish, but he believes what he believes, and he's very devout, and I respect people's beliefs, even though if I don't agree with them at all. But he heard me out, I heard him out, and he was a nice guy, and I'd like to have more conversations with him about it. But man, it was wild when he pulled out the ashes. I'm like, wow. Because the thing that I also said to him was how wild it is for, how'd I put it? There were stories out there that there was going to be the sacrifice, and then it was like we were told that it was more of a conspiracy theory that was happening, and then they did it in secret, and then they came out and said, then he said, we did it, which reminds me of something like the blocking the sun community, where they said, we're not going to tell the public because it's going to freak them out, but then we're going to go and block out the sun, and because we don't want to scare the people. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. And I was very happy to be able to have the conversation. Shout out to my friend for allowing it to happen, because I was just like, wow, I'm so interested in where people are getting their information from, and theology, something that I didn't really understand. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but the deeper I get into Christianity, the more I learn just how important theology is. Because you're Christian doesn't mean you got good theology, and the theology is everything. And that's, this is obviously nothing new. This has been going on for quite some time. This is why we had the Reformation. But the Catholics have all these disagreements with the Protestants, and the Protestants can't even get their things together and agree on a lot of things. Obviously, some things, but and then to extend that conversation out to Judaism, and then I was telling Adam, even within Judaism, there is so many disparate beliefs and things. Because I could talk to him, I could talk to other Jews who may or may not be Orthodox, who don't subscribe to what he was saying. But what he was doing, it was interesting because earlier that week or the week before, when I was on IRL, I was talking about the Haredi Jews, which is a bunch of Orthodox. That, my impression is, I'm not a scholar in this at all, but my impression is that they don't believe the state of Israel can actually exist until their Messiah comes. Right, so there's a lot of Jews who believe actually establishing Israel as it is now is a heresy because they don't have their Messiah. So then what Adam did is them doing their ritual to manufacture their Messiah. So it's fascinating, wild stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, so what kind of struck me too was you say he's an Orthodox Jew, but a lot of things that he was saying aren't actually Orthodox beliefs. It's in my understanding that reincarnation really isn't an accepted thing in Judaism, and a lot of it, what he was saying was kind of really esoteric and almost kind of Kabbalah, kind of more of the mysticism instead of the actual spiritual practices of Judaism.
Yes.
So it was the way he was saying that when the Messiah comes, and all the nations are going to basically come together, and we're gonna use these red heifer ashes to purify humanity, and then we'll be able to have telekinesis again. We'll live forever. Basically, Earth will become heaven. And a lot of it almost sounded it was kind of giving me Revelation vibes. A lot of that was kind of what Paul was prophesizing was the results of the end of the world, or the apocalypse. It almost sounded like he was trying to herald in the Antichrist instead of a Messiah.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't know. It was creepy, and then it was also what kind of threw me off is he was saying that it was the dissident right media was complaining about it. They were bitching so loud that they had to keep this practice ritual because it wasn't actually the main one that they were supposed to do is practice ritual. But then later in his his spiel, he was basically saying that now that we've done this ritual, now the Messiah can come forward and we can build the third temple. Mm-hmm. So it was was that ritual just a practice, or were you was it for real?
Yeah, to me it sounds real, and so that's what you were talking about. The magical aspect of what he was saying. That was the thing that was really interesting to me in terms of where you're getting that. And then I asked another Orthodox Jew, I'm what do you think about this? And he was well, what he said to me is that his idea of how do you put it? I'm paraphrasing, but he said his idea of Judaism is much more boring. And Adam would say his is much more interesting, and that the discrepancy there is because the one who said it was boring doesn't really subscribe to Kabbalah, and right. I believe Adam does. I don't want to put words in his mouth because I don't want to make interpret things I'm getting wrong, because he does a good job of saying his part, whether you believe it or not, and he has answers for where he's getting this information and why he has these beliefs. But that is a big difference, and I don't want to say it's. Who knows? Because there's Orthodox Jews, Reformed Jews, there's Hasidic, and they all fight like Protestants too, and have different beliefs. But the Kabbalah stuff gets interesting, and maybe at some point I'd like to do an episode on it at one point. But then you can get into the whole story of the Sabbatians. Are you familiar with that?
No, I don't think so.
So this is I don't want to. I should have done more. I should have been more prepared for this conversation. But basically, from what I gather, there was a sect of Jews, I want to say in the 1500s or 1600s, that were trying to usher in the Messiah. And I believe his name was Shabtai Z. And
oh, yes. Yeah. I am familiar with this. I heard Kurt Metzger talking about this.
Oh, good. That sounds like something Kurt would get into. Yeah, hell yeah. But basically, they realized, Shabtai Z figured out he's going to do everything against God. Since he couldn't please God, he was going to do everything against God to usher in the Messiah. It was like the opposite. It was the inverted, way of doing it. And he had a whole movement, and he was like decreed to be, I don't know if if a prophet is the right word or not, by someone else. And then he eventually converted to Islam. And he said to himself, according to the writings, that is even part of this mission of subverting everything. And, depending on who you talk to, it's a really big deal, the Sabbatians within the Jewish community, because it's kind of like a major trauma, because they do think about this a lot in terms of who's trying to subvert, but then they're also some of them are trying to subvert as well. So it's like, they're calling each other Sabbatians, and that's interesting, because now you can get into that story, and people will say the Sabbatians infected all these places, and they're subverting everything. And whether that's true or not, I don't know, but certainly there are people who have ingratiated themselves into different communities, like religions or like politics, that pretend to be one thing, or blatantly be the different thing, only to subvert it for their own goal, whatever that might be. With the Sabbatians, it was to usher in, I think, the Messiah. Again, I'm not as well read up on that as I should be for this, but it's fascinating conversation. And at one point, I'll try to find a good guest for the Sabbatian conversation, because it is, I think, really interesting and very relevant to a lot of things going on today.
Yeah, and it's pretty. It kind of sparked my interest too about the ritual of the red heifer, and he said that it was Ezra and Moses, and he was right about that. I was looking into it, and they were the only two people to perform this ritual, and he was I don't know what his point is about when Moses did it, but it's from my reading, it's Moses did it while they were wandering the desert after they got the commandments, and he descends the mountain, and the Israelites are they're it's the golden calf,
Yep.
they're
The false idol.
yeah, the false idols. And so it's kind of like a ritual that God gave them to purify themselves of this great sin that they had. They broke the very first commandment.
Yep. And you know what? He's also saying the thing about God and the aroma that's pleasing to him through those sacrifices. That's in the Old Testament. And I just like a few months ago, I was rereading Leviticus and Deuteronomy, because it's fascinating. I mean, it's so violent. There are so many people die in exile when they do that with the false idol stuff, and for other reasons, because God's so mad. I mean, it is just bloodshed after bloodshed. But yeah. No, he was right about all that for sure. It's in there.
And then another interesting thing that really got my my notice is that he said that we have to perform this red heifer before we can build that's like the sign that we can rebuild the third temple.
Yep.
And I was kind of like, I don't really see the connection here, so I kind of looked up Ezra, and the story of Ezra is Nebuchadnezzar sacks and destroys the first temple, Solomon's temple.
Yep.
And then he takes all of the Judeans out of Judea, and basically imprisons them in Babylon. And then later Cyrus the Great from Persia conquers the Babylon, and then he gives the Jews back. He lets them go be free and rebuild the second temple. And before they re-enter back into Israel or into Jerusalem, Ezra performs the red heifer, or the ritual of the red heifer. And another interesting is Cyrus the Great was actually proclaimed to be a Messiah, and he wasn't even Jewish.
That's interesting, right?
And so, I kind of see the kind of connection there with you perform the ritual of the red heifer, and so you found your Messiah, and then you can rebuild the temple. I kind of see the connections there, but I still don't really see how it all kind of correlates nowadays.
Yeah, no, I still don't fully understand it. And Christians just believe we've been cleansed. We've had Christ come back, or the resurrection, and that is the ultimate sacrifice, and they have their own that they believe in. But I've heard from other Orthodox Jews that they don't really see the red heifer as this ultimate thing. That there's something, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but that just seems more magical than they're willing to buy into. Who knows? It'd be interesting to see what happens. I mean, he said it was going to be this breaking news, and I was pretty shocked that was the news. But very, very interesting stuff. And maybe at some point I'll have him on so we can get deeper into this, because it is quite inverted, worldy, what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he almost sounds kind of Gnostic more than like Kabbalic or Gnostic than like Orthodox Jew to me. Especially the way he was like, describing how the world is going to be or what the world is. Mm-hmm. It was very Gnostic sounding to me. So I don't know.
And maybe that
interesting though.
And that could be because of the influence on Kabbalah on his worldview. Not really sure, but I mean, the Gnostics also have that kind of view on things, and we've had some pretty. I think we had one big conversation about Gnostics on this show a while back with Joe Allen, actually, who will be in this studio tomorrow, joining us. So maybe we'll talk about Gnosticism again. But yeah, man, I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah, and I'm glad that that worked out. That you had just recently talked to him and had that conversation about. That's pretty cool.
It's so random. It was so random.
Yeah.
I was like, yep, I guess that's what we're gonna do. I remember watching it, just being like, wow, I have a lot of thoughts about this. I still have lots of questions.
I just haven't seen anyone talking about it, and I just kind of wanted to bring up the conversation, and maybe someone else will pick it up from there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, to be continued.
All right. Well, thanks for hearing me out, guys, and have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, man. Same to you. Thanks for the call. The red heifer has been sacrificed.
So, I was catching up on chats because I don't have the chats up constantly. Well, we're showing articles or something like that. That's what's encompassing my screen. So a lot of the time I'll have to catch up on chats after we get off of that, which is what I just did. And shout out to Arthur Foxsake, who told me read some fucking chats, which I did. And he provided some information in regards to the identity of Snake, the Bigfoot hunter. I give you Brian Andrew Whiteley.
Oh my goodness. What band is he in?
Well, this man has apparently done a series of things, all of which I will show you now.
Wow. Shout out to the chat. Who is it? Arthur?
Arthur Foxsake. Arthur Foxsake. All right, so
he
was sued by Justin Bieber in 2021 for impersonating him. In 2016, he was the guy who put out the Trump tombstone, which is a 500-pound gravestone dedicated to Republican Party presidential candidate Donald Trump, current president, originally unveiled in the early hours of Easter Sunday in New York City's Central Park. He is also New York-based. He also, from 2012 to 2014, had a series of Bigfoot performances, reportedly videotaping himself in the woods as Bigfoot, and submitted the documentation to experts as first-hand sightings. He also started the creepy clown pandemic.
No.
So, yeah.
So this guy's a Renaissance man.
Or he's a fraud.
Fraud? I don't see that in the Wikipedia page at all.
How do we compare these two definitions? Satellite Art Show, I think, is what he is known for, and held annually in Miami. So this guy has hit the news on some pretty suspect shit.
I just want to get into some of this a bit. Sued by Justin Bieber. That's funny because just the other day there was that video circulating of someone tricking a whole crowd, I think in Vegas or LA, saying that they were, look at this guy. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We need him on the show.
That looks like him, only with a wig and some pit vipers on, and wearing a series of interesting clothes with an interesting backdrop on that interview. I mean, it's all making sense now that I have this name and have looked this guy up.
Incredible. Let's go back to the Wikipedia page. So, sued by Bieber when 2021 for impersonating him. Whitley had been channeling Bieber. Did he write this himself as a performance art project? He created a body of paintings as Bieber and had a gallery show planned in New York City when Bieber's LA legal firm sued him. sued. His Bieber paintings were sought by major collectors who had to sign an NDA to see the catalog. And
they also had to pay
offers.
$7 to $9.
Dude, this guy's amazing. The Trump's tombstone gained notoriety through his controversial and widely publicized Trump tombstone, in Central Park. I don't remember that. But after an extensive investigation by the Secret Service and the NYPD, Whitley was revealed as the creator of the tombstone. The Secret Service and NYPD interrogated Whitley in his home, asking if he owned a gun. Well, yeah, how else are you going to hunt a Bigfoot? Obviously.
With his bare hand, Shane.
Yeah, good point. And with
He
a
snapped
chokehold.
into a Slim Jim and then snapped into a Bigfoot, and then the rest is history.
Oh, man.
Now it's behind a piece of plexiglass and 2x4s.
So then he had Bigfoot performances. But I'm most interested in the creepy clown pandemic. I mean, do you guys all remember this? This was a big deal. I had no idea. Wait, in 2013, this is funny. I was living next to Greenwood Cemetery in 2013. Whitley began performing as a clown in Greenwood Cemetery, Brooklyn.
Whiteley stopped videotaping himself as Bigfoot after being shot at while in his Bigfoot costume in upstate New York.
Dude, dying for the art. He takes it seriously.
What the hell did you think was going to happen, dude?
Takes it seriously. Wow.
People want that kill, man. It's not a great character to play.
Yeah, copycat clowns soon started popping up around the country. During this project, Whiteley explored how the media substantiates works of art and how far could he can push. He wrote this himself.
How far he could push them on coverage.
Just like here on Inverted World Live, where he's coming to the studio.
Project was based on fake news before the term was popularized.
This dude wrote this Wikipedia page.
You're not allowed to write your own wiki page. It has to be written by somebody else. That's the rule of wiki.
No. Well, then Bigfoot wrote it.
Which also is pretty crazy. Like, you can't submit, like, oh, hey, I didn't go to this school. I went to this school. And it's like, well, too bad. We can't take it from you. Somebody else needs to say it.
I love it. I'm so glad.
It's so gossip column like esque. I don't know.
Goodness
Such a
gracious.
weird thing. But shout out to Arthur for uncovering what I think is a massive fraudulent Ponzi scheme.
Yep.
That this man has been playing on us for years.
That I will promote. Moneymaker definitely didn't write this Wikipedia page. That's for damn sure.
I mean, so if this guy comes into the studio,
Yep.
you will get 50% love from Shane and 50% ardent hate from me.
Yep.
And the balance, we will keep it completely balanced.
Yeah.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah.
As fair and balanced as a conspiracy podcast could be.
Yep. Exactly.
But I am not going to hold back on the questions that I have surrounding this debaucherous behavior by one Brian Andrew Whiteley, a.k.a. Snake, the Bigfoot Hunter.
I'm so glad I know that. This makes it so much better that he got this much, that he got to the New York State Fair with a Bigfoot. I still think it's real. My heart hasn't changed.
And people need to stop channeling poor Bieber. But Diddy channeled the shit out of Bieber. Leave the kid alone, man.
Right. And
At this
Usher.
point. It's been channeled enough, God.
Ren's vitro fertilization says Shane is always living somewhere near these things. It's true. It's true. I was living with my girlfriend, now wife, near Greenwood Cemetery. Went there all the time. I did not see any clowns, though. The man who invented the soda fountain is buried in Greenwood Cemetery. And there's gargoyles along each of the corners of his mausoleum. And when it rains, they all spit water. It won Mortuary Arts Awards.
Arthur says, need to employ me to call truth or bullshit.
Yeah.
You definitely got a leg up with me, bud, in that information leak there, the whistleblower.
He's like our own WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
Our Julian Assange out there.
I'll definitely take anything you send me seriously if I can't prove it better myself. Which I did try to find some shit on this guy and I couldn't find it. And lo and behold, he has a completely different identity, and that's why I couldn't find it. So
Interesting. So are you saying his name's not Snake?
no, I don't think it's his. I don't think it's his birth name.
Is unbelievable.
He looks like he hangs out with MGK.
Yeah, he does look like he hangs out. I'm surprised he could more easily impersonate MGK than Justin Bieber. Let's see. Robert says, Shane, did you super chat when you had your kids? The world needs to know. I did not. I was in the bliss of the bubble that our last one, the one that was our third that was born while I was a part of Timcast, was born in our home this month 1 year ago. And the whole world stopped outside. I forgot all about super chatting. It's crazy. It's crazy. Home births are awesome. If you can do it, highly recommend it. Nothing like not being in a hospital. Let's do another caller.
I've got visuals running through my head of him getting shot at in a Bigfoot suit.
That's why the first question
takes off the head and he's like, "No, stop! It's me, Brian Andrew Wiley, aka Snake. Don't shoot!"
Maybe maybe there's clones of him, and actually the Bigfoot corpse he has is him, another clone of him that was shot and killed in the Adirondacks, and that's how I knew to find it. And he just keeps replicating. Baker said, "How do we call in?" The link to call in is pinned in the chat.
I'll post them again.
Rumble and YouTube.
We've had some reports of this link disappearing.
Oh, weird.
I still see it like the entire time, but maybe it's just because I don't have to reload my screens. I don't come in late. I've been here the entire time. I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch, but I'll throw them in both chats one more time. If you guys don't see them or if they disappear, just bring it up in chat, and as soon as I get my attention to it, I'll go ahead and repost that link again.
I love it. We're going to get him in here.
Oh, let's go to Kalen Ladd. It's Ladd with 2 Ds. Kalen, welcome to the show. Are you reading us?
We need like music to play for the
like elevator music?
Yeah. I'll hit up Carter about spooky elevator music. Hello.
Hello?
What's up?
Can you hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? You're on Inverted World Live.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hello.
He's trapped in a glass case of emotion.
Just like Bigfoot.
Just like Bigfoot. Ladd. Sir Ladd. Are you there?
Oh, that's great.
Is he talking to us?
I think he is, but I don't think he's hearing us.
No, it's delayed for me, and I'm not.
Are you listening to the
Sorry, I'm having
show
trouble here.
as well as trying to use the Zoom meeting? Because you're going to want to mute the show and just listen to the audio from the Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hearing you on Zoom.
Check your settings if you're using headphones too. We had a guest one time had to unplug and plug back in because he wasn't getting us, but our audio is definitely going out.
Oh, okay.
Well, while we wait to figure this out, I will say it again. Tomorrow, we will have Joe Allen from the War Room, writer of Dark Eon, great, amazing book about AI, transhumanists.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome.
I got you.
He'll be here in studio, and we can't wait to have him.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good, man. How are you?
I'm good. First time calling in, so I barely use Zoom, so it's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, it's weird. I know.
I don't like it either.
I know. Yep. Well, what's going on?
Not much. I've been listening to a lot of Art Bell recently because of you guys.
Sick.
And I was like, I've been wanting to call into you guys' show, so figured I'd try to.
Awesome. Yeah.
Welcome, man.
I don't know. Do I just?
You can if you got if
whatever?
if you have a story you want to share or a thought on something we've talked about, you can. The floor is yours.
Oh, okay, cool. I got a couple things. One thing I've been thinking about lately is so my mom, unfortunately, she passed away a few weeks ago. It's almost about a month now.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Kind of thanks. It's just weird, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm still processing it.
Of course.
But like the first week that she was gone, I was like, I thought I was going a little crazy because I kept like thinking there were people in the house, and I wasn't sure like if I was just getting attacked by demons or whatever, because I don't really believe in the whole ghost thing. I think demons just kind of exist, and then they pretend to be people that you know. Because
Can you explain
like
what it was like what exactly you were hearing?
oh well, I wasn't hearing anything. So I have a bedroom, and I had to like eventually close the door because I swear I was seeing like people in the bedroom. It was very
Was
like I
this
didn't see. I just like I knew someone was in there.
like it was a feeling you
Yeah.
had, or were you seeing shadows or some sort of apparition?
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't like I was seeing someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the feeling of someone was in there. Like when I'm around people, I have a I have a bad habit like looking at people and watching, and it's just like when someone's there, I for some reason always have to like make like keep looking or keep glancing, and it was like this feeling of someone was in there, and I kept like needing to look, and it was just like I don't know what it could have been. Um, I know there's like the whole shadow people thing, and I've had my run-ins with that, but this seemed a little more intense. Like it was here just to mess with me because I was very vulnerable.
And how long would you say this lasted?
Uh, I'd say about like that first week, that I was by myself.
And did it stop abruptly, or did
Oh
you?
yeah, I haven't noticed it since then. So I think whatever it was decided that I wasn't worth its time, but it was very I like I know the first night by myself I thought I saw my mom, and I was like, well, that's not her because I honestly don't believe she's still here.
Mm.
Um So
Well,
I think whatever it was trying to pretend.
Yep. Yeah, and you know,
just-
these things seem to happen a lot around times of grief, and it's, you know, it's hard to know if it's just our mind playing tricks on us, or if there is something trying to pretend to be someone you lost, or something altogether, just trying to mess with you. It's tough, you know. Like I've had my own experiences with something strange after a death, and I just can't make sense of it. And you know, we've had people call in talking about seeing the shadows, the Hat Man or shadow entities, especially when they were children who had just experienced some sort of trauma in their life. So it happens, but I'm glad it stopped happening, and hopefully they stay away.
Yeah, I mean I know some people believe in like spirits and you kind of wander or whatever. I guess we don't really know what happens when you're gone. I personally think she's in heaven with Jesus, but I mean, then again, I had this dream that she visited this cat of hers that I have to take care of now and myself after she passed. So I mean, maybe there's like a time briefly before you go to wherever you need to go to.
Well, you know, it kind of goes back to what we were saying just earlier about theology and what you believe. I don't believe in that like purgatory, but Catholics do, and they take it very seriously, and they pray for the dead to leave purgatory. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I don't know all that much about Catholicism, but I love talking to them about it and the differences between more Protestant religions and or Christianity and Catholicism, because obviously there's lots of differences, but they definitely believe in that, and like I was talking about earlier with Adam King, they believe and they have a whole different idea of heaven and hell, and only going there for a little bit of time. So it comes down to your theology, and mine is just more, I guess, more simplistic, for lack of a better word. It's heaven or hell, and that's all we got. And I think there are angels and demons that can visit here from those places, for sure. I 100% believe that. So, but it's sometimes it's hard to differentiate. You should be able to know what you're getting yourself into should something be visiting you. But like you've might have heard on this show, a lot of people are contacted by things that really do pretend to be good, when in fact they are not.
I don't think it was good at all. I felt very like intimidated, and I'm usually not scared of the dark, but I was when I was younger, for sure, and I've never felt like that in a long time. Yeah. I haven't felt like that in a long time.
Yeah.
I should say. It was just like, all right, well, I guess we're going back to that. Am I going to be scared of the dark now as an adult?
Well, grief does insane things to us. It's different for everybody, and it just warps reality. And it's always so bizarre how the world just goes on after you've had this.
That's what I always think.
It's insane. I mean, it's just. It's an impossible thing to understand.
And it sucks realizing that it's not just going to stop for you too. And
right.
That's really when the realization of that hits harder than ever.
Yep. I had a debt collector call me on my 30th birthday at my grandfather's funeral. And it's just like the whole world had just kept going on, and like all my issues of being poor catching up to me. And I'm burying him on my 30th birthday. I'm like, man, this world sucks.
Yeah.
This world sucks. But hey, man, I appreciate you calling in and sharing the story with us.
Yeah, I don't know. I had another quick thing, real quick, if that's fine.
Yeah, go for it.
I've always tried to think about what this was, and maybe you can discuss it later or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was like 10, I was playing. I had this like vivid memory of playing with my cousins and in this playground or whatever behind where my grandma used to live, and there was like this huge mound of those wood chips, so it was pretty easy to climb onto, and we were playing King of the Hill or whatever. Basically, I remember climbing onto the hill, and I was very excited, and then I remember like seeing these black orbs come at me, and I was like really scared, and I remember like jumping off because I was trying to like avoid whatever the heck was coming at me. And my cousins thought I was being stupid, and it's like, why did you just jump off? Like it was pretty far, and I was like, you guys didn't just see those like black orbs flying at me? Like, so I don't know. I can never figure out what the heck that could have been. It was like 20-something years ago.
Did you hear them? Did they make a sound?
They just showed up and flew at me and made me have a physical response. I have epilepsy now, so I wonder if it was I had a seizure.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. We have lots of orb stories that are connected to many different things. Whether it's something interdimensional or something flying in the sky. We've seen people approach orbs while being absorbed into someone else's life in stories. And actually recently we've seen orbs. There's videos. We haven't pulled this up yet. Maybe I didn't send it to Brandon, but like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we saw videos of orbs allegedly making crop circles. So orbs are something people see a bunch. They're really weird. I've seen my own sort of orb UFO thing in the sky, but that's a strange experience, man. And I appreciate you sharing it with us. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Have a good night. Let me see. I saw this comment before we get to another caller from Always Gaming. And this one it was heartbreaking, but I wanted to address it. Always Gaming said, my daughter passed last year. I don't know. I was considering calling in and talking about it, but I worry I would turn the show into a therapy session. There's been some stuff I can't explain. Well, I use this own show sometimes as a therapy session, and I am so sorry that happened. That is a horrible thing, but you can always call in and hear the stories and just try to make sense of this insane, strange world. But my condolences. That is just the absolute worst thing that I could possibly imagine, and my prayers to you, man.
I've got that video.
The orbs?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, orbs
Whatever
supposedly, but essentially they were claiming that these were live videos via farmer security cam of crop circles being made.
Real quick, before we go into that, are you seeing this strange bug flying around this room? Have you seen it yet?
Bug?
Yeah, I think it might have the Shope papillomavirus. I'm like worried it might get us. It's weird. It's strange. It's small and like radioactive red.
I have not seen a bug.
Maybe it will land on me live, and we can all see me get infected, and I'll grow horns by midnight
with rabbit papillomavirus.
Yeah, extremely rare, but it could happen on this show.
So, we don't really need to have audio for this.
But
I do want to blow this up.
Did I send this? I forget if I did. I was like,
you sent it. This was one of the stories that we kind of had but didn't really touch on.
There's been a lot, we got these squirrel zombies, we got the rabbit zombies.
There's actually a fair amount of stuff that like we've wanted to talk about that we have not been able to get to just with everything happening, and it's kind of some of this stuff has gotten put to the back burner. This is one of those videos. Yeah.
Oh, and Dances with Aardvarks, you did say this could be a Chinese drone mosquito. That is exactly what I think it is, and I think we're being infiltrated by the CCP. And whatever's flying around here is probably some like Bill Gates manufactured CCP mosquito.
I was gonna say if it's from China and it's anything like the China spy balloon, they forgot to turn it on before they sent it out, so it's not recording. It's just kind of hovering.
I'm gonna pull out my bazooka, just blow it up real quick.
All right, just aim it that way. I'd like to not be a bazooka casualty tonight. Okay, so let's run this. Keep your eyes on it. Some of this to me, again, obviously, bullshit, but we'll watch this for the sake of watching it. If you're wondering what the woman's saying, she's basically just saying, look, a crop circle gets made on a camera. So you're not missing much there. Now, these are the orbs that were said to be dancing around.
They're bogus spheres. Nighttime ones.
Yeah, you can see these trails kind of being made around them.
Is this from a VCR?
This is apparently a CCTV.
A CCTV in a crop?
For like a security camera on a farm. So now this is someone driving past a series of these orbs dancing around in the field.
I am not buying it.
No, we'll watch it one more time.
That looks fake.
Yeah.
And also, not a crop circle, unless there's more to it we can't see, and it's just one small piece. Are these mosquitoes? Are these bugs with the Shope papillomavirus that also cause crop circles? I'm seeing a crossover.
And I'm going to run this back a little bit here because I want to see the way that this one comes across. You can see the circle just opens up and follows it as it makes this next turn.
This is
it all of a sudden just kind of
Fake.
appears in the wake of it.
Capital F-A-K-E. Fake.
Yeah. I don't believe it any more than you do. And,
Nope.
you know, as usual, grainy security footage. But there's two sides to that coin now, is that the better it looks, the more I'm going to be suspicious of it being AI generated. So,
Yeah, well, you know, Elon has said that when he's talking about space and videos from space, he says it looks so fake because you know it's real, or something like that. I could be misquoting it, but basically,
that doesn't
it looks
help
fake.
anything.
It looks fake, but it means it's real.
That does nothing for me. Thanks, Elon.
Yep, that
anyway.
was Dances with Aardvark said gay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see what everybody's saying here.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Robert said you can see Snake hiding in the bushes. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Sharp 8 says
There-
it looks fake.
There's so much of this stuff pumped into the internet for clicks or for getting on to shows like this, or to confirm people's biases towards these things. But my goodness, there is so much fake stuff. Unless, you know, you're something like Snake, the Bigfoot hunter, you know, that I take 100% seriously despite Arthur doxing him. Aaron Wolf says it's as real as Elon's Diablo playing. Diablo, I don't know how to say the name of that game, but that is right. Elon is a fake gamer. Fraud.
J Rig says, no way those orbs could be drones. I'm fucking sold.
I mean, I don't think there's any correlation between snake and fake rhyming. It's just a weird coincidence.
Isn't James says, man, bear pig. 100%.
You know, that was a real bummer that South Park apologized to Al Gore for Man Bear Pig,
Yeah.
because they were like, we are sorry. You know, there's some great episodes, but that was a real bummer.
Yeah, you're not allowed to hurt Al Gore's feelings.
Project Mayhem, I see you out there about Dom Lucra and Terrible. They need to stop posting this fake BS. They do post a lot of this. And before we get to the next call, I just want to say real quick something that really pisses me off. Not Inverted World-esque, but people, like you saw G Prime, the cartoonist, and all these people taking his art today and stealing it and not giving him credit, really upsets me. Don't do that out there. And what's his name? Ian Miles Chong even went so far as to feed G Prime's image into AI, make an AI version of it, and post that. Ridiculous. Don't do that, people. Let's do another caller.
Yeah,
Let's hope
Farwalker
it's
says,
Snake.
Snake has taught me to believe everything I see online. I think he's had a similar effect on Shane.
Yeah, now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. I'm glad we are radicalizing you. Perfect. If everything's on the internet is true. I heard Abraham Lincoln say that once.
All right, so let's go to...
Has that bug bit me yet?
I don't know. Do you feel
Am I growing
rapid
horns?
onset
Am I growing horns?
rabbit papillomavirus coming on?
I do feel weird. It might be the Celsius.
Leany Bug, you're on the show. Can you unmute your mic while everyone else drinks? Jeff said we should put probe and robot together as tonight's drink word and call it probot.
Probot.
Yeah.
Probot. That's good.
I can't think of any sentences that I would use the word probot in. So,
That's the name of the robot that impregnates the robots.
yeah. But that's been said twice now, so if you're counting that word, you owe me two.
Someone said, thanks, Shane. I'll
Yep.
keep stealing his content just to get a reaction from
So we got you now, lady, but you're going to want to mute the show in the background and go with the Zoom
Oh, yeah.
audio.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Hello. How are you guys tonight?
We're good. How you
Good.
doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, thanks for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Well, I was hoping you guys could help me figure out what happened.
Let's try
Okay.
it.
Okay, so this happened back in 2006. My son, we lived in apartments, and there was a cute little play yard out back, and he was out there playing, and he came in one day, and he's like, Mom, I don't like that little boy. He's mean to me. And we look out there, and we're like, what little boy? And he's like, he's standing right there. You can't see him. we weren't sure what to do, so we just kind of played along with him. So, and it happened again. So I started watching him out there playing. And all of a sudden you could just see, like, you couldn't see anything, but you saw like the momentum of my child being pushed into the play yard. And he came in and he's like, Mom, I don't want to play with him anymore. And I'm like, sweetie, you don't have to play with him if you don't want to. I'm like, if he's out there, just, try not to go out there. So things were good for a couple weeks, and it started all over again. I watched really careful. I didn't see shadows. I didn't see any like space, like, you see that like something's there, but it's not. I didn't see anything. So we just kept him in the house there for a while. And he's like, Mom, I want to go to the bathroom. I'm like, well, sweetie, go to the bathroom. And he's like, I can't. And I'm like, why can't you go to the bathroom? He's like, that little boy is up there, and he's full of blood.
Oof.
Yeah, and I got so creeped out, I just packed everybody up, and I just moved out of there.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know what it was. I don't know why it was happening to him and only him.
Wow. You have, how old is he now?
Well, he was 6 at the time.
He was 6 at the time. And
Yeah.
does he remember it?
Well, I tried not to bring it up because, I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. You know what I mean?
Right. But like when he was older, did he ever bring it up on his own or have any memories of it?
No, he never really brought it up.
Interesting.
But yeah.
That is super scary.
They say the younger you are, the more of an ability you have to see through the veil, as it's called.
Yeah, I think kids have that vulnerability. There's no like real shield built into them that society kind of puts on us as we grow older, and they can be susceptible to seeing certain things that none of us can make sense of or none of us can see. Did he describe it at all to you other than the blood stuff?
He was just a little boy. And the only time he had blood on him was when he was in our apartment at the top of the stairs, and he said he was full of blood. And so I got to thinking, well, maybe a child died somewhere nearby.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
I was going to say, scary movies generally tell us that means that he was murdered in the house somehow.
There's some dark history in this place.
But I looked into it. I called the paper. I read everything I could, and nobody knew anything, and I found nothing.
Unless it's something that goes very far back.
You mean before the apartments were there?
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Could be. And it just stopped when you moved?
Yeah. I thought maybe he'd be attached to us and he would come with us, but it was never brought up again. So I'm not sure why he and Casey's the only one. There were other kids there, but it seemed like Casey was, or my son was the only one that he picked on.
Right. Maybe it's, if it was some sort of apparition or something like dark like that, seems like it, it chose the son because they were maybe similar in age, something like that. We've had these stories where people call in and their children have seen things that no one else is seeing. It's freaking out the kids. And I just think there's something that kids can see, like what Brandon's saying. It's hard to know.
Maybe it's like the dude in the movie Ghost that keeps telling him to get off his train.
Yeah.
He's like, get off my train.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be here.
They occupy certain places.
Yep. And those are theirs. And they get jealous if anything, comes in there. And the first thing they want to do is scare it away.
Yep. Did your son have any other paranormal experiences outside of that?
No, not really. at first we thought it was an imaginary friend, you know, like every mother does, until I saw that push.
Yeah.
You know, I actually saw him come off his feet and fly backwards.
That's wild.
Yeah, so.
Well, I think you did the right thing by moving.
Yeah, in fairness, I would have moved out too.
I don't like that, you know.
Fuck that.
It's anything that's freaking out the kids like that, super weird. I haven't had that experience yet, but very, very,
Oh,
very
I hope
scary.
you don't.
Yeah, I hope I don't too. Well, sorry we don't have concrete answers for you, but I do think some kids just are susceptible to seeing something like that. And I do think whatever those things are, these entities are aware of that and they take advantage of it. And that could be the case with your son.
Oh, okay.
At any rate, we're glad you guys are safe now.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's some creepy
Everybody's
shit.
good now. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
Of course. Have a great night.
Thanks for being here. Take care.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
My goodness. That's creepy. I saw someone said, well, we all are filled with blood. That is true. That is true. But imagine your kid saying that. I'm itchy now because I think I've been bit by the bug. I think I'm going to leave here with horns.
You got RPD.
I might call out tomorrow. Shane got horns. We'll see.
Honestly, I'm gonna make it mandatory that you come to work tomorrow, because if you're sprouting horns or anything weird out of your chin, I want people to see physical evidence
I want
of
them
this.
to see it too. Yep.
Yeah,
I'll get them. If I get them, I'll be here. I won't take the day off.
my will is not my own.
Yeah, let's get to another caller.
All right, let's go to Kevin 11. I don't know if any relation to 6'7", Kevin.
Whoa.
Kevin, what's up?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
We can. How you doing?
Holy cow. I was literally just in the bathroom. I was like, it's going to be so fun.
He was one of the bathroom dwellers I
talk.
talk about, but you got back just in time, so I'm going to leave you out of that category for the night.
What's going on?
Right on. All right. So I've got this one story. A few years back, I was working at this Food City, which is, you know, a grocery store. And it was new, and they were just opening up. So I was with the crew that was stocking it up. So I was spending like about a month with these people, and then you know, I mostly hung out with like the night crew guys, who, you know, they were all around my age, but there was this one older guy there. His name was Gary. So I didn't really I didn't talk to Gary a whole bunch, but he was a nice guy. So finally the date opens, or the date of them opening comes. So, you know, I went to bed, and that night I had this dream. And I don't really remember the context of the dream or anything, but at one point there's like this door that opens up, and somebody poked his head out into like this room that I was in. I looked over and I immediately recognized him as Gary. However, he looked different. He was young, and he didn't say anything. He was just smiling at me. He was just beaming. And I think I even said in the dream, Gary, what are you doing here? So anyways, I wake up, go about my day, and I go to work. Brand opening, super busy, and I'm just working, and I'm rushing. And finally, there gets this lull, and I'm in the back talking to one of the other guys that works there. The manager, he comes in. He's like, hey, guys, did you hear the news? I'm like, what news? The news about Gary? And he said that Gary had died that night.
That's very interesting. Do you know how?
I think he died of a heart attack.
Sheesh.
But it's just crazy, because I remembered that I had that dream, and it's almost like Gary just popped in to see me on his way out.
Yeah. I mean, we just had that caller who was saying that she's visited by people she knew that died like sometime afterwards every time.
3 days.
3 days after
Every 3
they
days
die,
after
right?
a death.
And it's like their way of saying goodbye. That's wild.
That almost, I wonder, we had a caller not that long ago too that said that he had a similar experience of seeing like a Hat Man figure outside, and I almost wonder if that dude's name was Gary too, because I remember his dad kind of said, "Oh yeah, that's just Gary. Don't worry about him." You know, like he was like a known thing, and then that guy had also come to find that guy had died recently in that area, and that it was thought that he just kind of hung around the area after and never left.
Well, Gary definitely wasn't wearing a hat in my dream.
Well, that's good. I mean, it wasn't the Hat Man, so.
Yeah, but it's interesting. You said he looked younger in the dream.
Yeah, he looked young and healthy, and he was just smiling at me. He looked like he was just filled with joy.
It's crazy because there are beliefs for some people that when you die, you take the best form that you thought of as yourself.
Right.
Like kind of like the Matrix with like your digital projected image or whatever he called it.
Yep.
That you kind of just revert back to whenever you were like in your best state as a living being.
Yeah, which I think makes sense. If there is an afterlife, I believe there's an afterlife. At least I don't really. Well, I'm a Christian, and I believe it. I believe there's definitely something like heaven. I don't really think that our human brains can really comprehend fully what it is. But I think just to me, it makes sense that your body's going to, it's going to be your younger self or like the perfect version of yourself. I think, was it Socrates that had the idea of the forms?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I'm hazy from my college years.
I mean, I would believe that over like when you die, you come back wearing the same clothes that you died in, or like your legs magically turn into a wispy tail and you're just you from the torso up.
Casper did seem real to me, like turning into just a marshmallow.
CGI was ahead of its time back then,
It actually really was good CGI back then. It was. Casper was unbelievable. Was this one of those dreams where you wake up and immediately remember, and then you're driving into work like you're thinking about it a bit, and then you get the news, or did it come back?
Those are most of my dreams. I dream every night, definitely.
Wow.
And I usually remember them pretty well. Unless I wake up and I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to think about it.
Have you ever?
I also like. What's funny is like just the other day, I had this dream that my old roommate, who's still my friend, he was. I had this dream that he was going to move in with a friend of ours, and then I went to see him the other day, and he tells me that they're moving in. And I usually, well, I don't have dreams that like mean things. At least where things come true in real life.
I've had that, I think there's something to dreams. I don't underestimate them. I think there's something going on in our little flawed human brains that is actually pretty amazing. And that something happens in the dreams where our like imagination, our consciousness is exposed to something bigger than us. And maybe it's like an antenna that you can pick up on certain things. I had a friend who disappeared after like high school, a really good friend, and just disappeared. And, he used to talk about faking his death. He didn't, but I was like, maybe that's what he did. And then years go by, and I dreamt about him for the first time ever. And that same day, the day after I dreamt about him, his little brother hit me up and said his brother, my friend who disappeared, was flying over to like Europe because he was in the army now, which was totally shocking. And that, he must have been flying from, I was in the same area where he had left from. I'm like, what are the odds? I haven't thought of him in a while. I haven't ever dreamt about him. But there he was in my dream. And the next day, his brother, who I've never really talked to outside of when I knew him when he was a little kid years and years prior. So, I've had a lot of instances like that. They just don't make sense. And I do think there's some sort of like antenna situation going on with our dreams sometimes.
Yeah, like was it the last caller that said something about the veils lifted, or were you guys were saying that when you're younger?
Brandon was, I think, Brandon saying that. Yeah, it's
well,
true.
Also, like when you're asleep, isn't that like when like your brain releases DMT into your mind or something?
Well, I'm not sure. I think
that
I've heard
that you would if there is such thing as the veil, it would be a little bit more lifted while you're in like REM sleep.
Yeah, I think DMT is attributed to dreaming.
Yeah, is that what also is released when you're dying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
it's what they call your
it's
third
in
eye.
massive
Yeah,
quantities
right.
when you die.
Yeah.
It's, is it the pineal gland? There's a gland up there
Probably.
that's holding
That's the
it.
one all the conspiracy theorists love to talk about.
I was just gonna bring it up. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. Fluoride is shrinking.
That's
calcifying.
Basically what the
I
third eye
believe
is.
that. I don't
said to be.
trust fluoride.
Oh, you shouldn't trust fluoride. It's bad.
I mean, I'll brush my teeth with it, but why is it in my drinking water?
it shouldn't be.
According to them, it's to prevent cavities, to keep a constant layer of it hitting your teeth. So if you drink water like a good boy, your teeth will last forever.
You know, it's
That's what they want you to think.
exactly. It's to calcify your pineal gland and to destroy you from the inside
I
out.
think it's probably just turning everyone gay.
Well, it's also that for
Turning
sure.
frogs gay.
That we know that. We know that. You know, it's so funny where Alex Jones was mocked for years for saying that, and then RFK Jr. comes around and he kind of like,
Yeah, he confirms it.
yeah, but he puts it in his own professional way, where he says it, but not like how Alex says it. And everyone's like, oh, wow, okay. And he's citing studies, the same studies that Alex was looking at, but Alex has a way about him. And sometimes the delivery isn't always the best for everyone. I love it, but
I'm with you. I love him too. I don't watch his show because it's just a little bit too much.
it's a lot.
It's too much like fire hose.
It's
I
a
love
lot.
it when he's like on Tim or Rogan or somebody. That's like just enough. That's
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. No, I'll tune in every now and then. He's got a good group of people over there. I love all those guys, and but he is a lot, and that's how he is. I mean, off screen. That's just he is. That's Alex. There's not. I mean, he's definitely putting on some of it, and he gets worked up, but that is how he is. He believes it. People think it's all an act. I don't think so. He believes it. I believe him, and I don't agree with him on everything because I think we have different attitudes towards things like the moon. But he's great. He's hilarious. He's a poet. He's a great
I mean,
poet.
in his own way.
He is. He is. Well, that's a wild story about Gary. Thanks for sharing it.
And if I could just say one more thing.
Of course.
Yesterday's show was awesome.
Thank you.
Yesterday's episode was my favorite episode I've seen from you guys since I started watching.
Thank you so much.
It was a really good time.
Felt good.
I feel like we were laughing for most of it, which is usually a good sign.
Yeah.
You guys had some great stories, and the callers were all fantastic.
Awesome. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Well, have a good night and call back when you got some more.
Sweet. Will do.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Bye.
Incredible. Last night was a lot of fun. They're all fun. I mean, we leave and I'm just like, that was a fun, and it flies by. Like, I can't believe it's 11:42 already. And tomorrow's our last episode.
Yeah, we'll
of
do
the
our
week.
little post show powwow out in the dark parking lot where we poison ourselves for 5 minutes and talk about how awesome the show was.
Just drinking fluoride straight up. Why we're I always look at the chat. I like look away and I look back, and I'm seeing people say I like Bon Iver a lot. That's from Caitlin Neary. I'm like, how did we get to Bon Iver? I like Bon Iver.
I don't know, but speaking of chat, shout out to Phil Labonte,
What?
who threw us $10 and says this is because Shane is wearing an "Every Time I Die" shirt.
That's right.
It's funny because we had somehow ended up on the topic of Guitar Hero, which Phil knows about because Phil was in it. And we were talking about songs that we used to play, and obviously All That Remains came up. And I was like, you know what else used to be really fucking fun to play? Is that Every Time I Die song. Mm-hmm. And we got to talking about Every Time I Die. And the one time that I got to play a show with them was absolutely fucking amazing. They were so cool. And they were hyping our band up so much. And they were like, we love local bands that are really actually good. Like, this is so sick. I love this. You know, sold out front to back. And when we went out to go smoke after the show, I threw on that song from Every Time I Die. And we were just sitting out there just jamming. And it was like, holy shit, I haven't heard that song in like 15 years. I forgot how good it was. And Shane is back now with his Every Time I Die
We have like
sweater.
mini extra shows outside that go on for like 20 minutes. It's hard to turn off. People in the chat are saying, what do you mean by last show? I meant last show of the week, not last show forever. When I was talking about tomorrow's being our last show of the week.
We're retiring,
Of the week,
everybody,
yeah.
before episode 100.
Yep. I got this sweatshirt during lockdowns when bands couldn't tour and they needed money and their music. They're one of my favorite bands, and I was like, I got to support them.
Great time to support touring artists is when
so
they
bad.
can't tour.
Dude, they killed. It was so bad what they did to everything, but I was so bummed about music, and it was killing me.
Dude, my band had just released an album like November, October. We were touring with Ginger and the Browning, and we did like 2-3 shows in the Midwest area. We called it Weekend Warrior shows, where we were just like, we all had 9 to 5s.
Yep.
So we'd go out and tour on the weekends,
Absolutely.
jump on, take a couple days off if we could to do it during the week, and we did 3 dates with them, and it was just so good. But right after that, pandemic happened and just crashed everything. And it was like all the steam that we were building up with tour just killed the album. It's
terrible.
You know, and we just like stopped and didn't see each other again for like 2 years.
I hate
after
that.
that last show. And I got sick that night coming back, but it wasn't COVID. I thought that was actually that I had gotten COVID that night, and it wasn't. But then I ended up getting it like 2 months later, and then whole stupid nightmare, and it just pissed me off because we worked our asses off on that album, you know, and then just
That's
to see
awful.
music just completely fall off after that just
I was
sucked
so bummed.
bad.
I love going to shows. I love live music. The last show I saw before everything was locked down was in Brooklyn, New York, and it was Daughters touring for You Won't Get What You Want. Health opened. Health is a really awesome band. It was such a good show. It was so loud. It's like one of those shows where you're afraid of the crowd and the band at the same time. It's my favorite kind of show. And I didn't know that was going to be the last show I'd see in a while, for a long while. But shout out to live music.
Yep.
And look at all the love for Phil in the chat. Phil is killing it.
Phil has been killing it for IRL in Tim's absence. Great job, Phil. Got to give you a fist bump tomorrow if I see you. I didn't get to see you today, but keep up the good work, buddy.
Yeah, dude.
You're killing it.
Phil's become a great host. It's awesome seeing him be able to sit in for Tim as he's getting better. And I'm assuming Phil will be hosting the Culture War on Friday, which I will be on. And that should be interesting.
Well, hopefully Tim's back soon. He seems to be doing a little bit better. He's still kind of not feeling it, though. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little bit longer, but Timmy's on his way back on the rebound, it looks like. So.
And maybe we have time for one more caller at least. And real quick, I saw people, I missed it, but I saw people asking about the skate thing that's going on.
Yeah,
You know about that.
So I think this one is being done invite only, but if you guys go to Boonies HQ, there's some stuff up about it. We're hosting a game of skate between a couple of pros and some amateurs that are going to be coming out. I think it's August 30th.
Okay.
Whatever that Saturday is. So next Saturday, I think it is. And I think we're going to have it up. I don't know how we're doing the broadcasting yet. I got to get into the logistics a little bit more with Andy. But I think we're supposed to be either broadcasting it live or posting it after. So it'll probably end up on YouTube or Rumble or both. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a cool event. I'll be there hanging out, and it should be good.
Yeah.
Sean Hover coming back for that one. He's a great skater. Excited to watch him skate again, so it's going to be cool. But Boonies HQ, keep an eye out. There should be some details up if you guys go look it up. And yeah, hopefully that leads to us doing some more of these things. I think Tim wants to kind of do it going forward as like a regular event. So
Sick.
We'll see how that goes.
People are asking what your band's name was.
I had a few of them. The last one that we did that I was talking about was called El Famous, which was named after a burrito place in Chicago. And we had actually, the funny story is that we actually, we were touring around in a band called The Action Blast at the time. And we kind of were on tour, and we're hanging out in Texas with one of our friends whose mother happened to be on the original Battlestar Galactica.
What?
And she invited us to come stay in her huge house in Texas. So we were staying there. And she taught us how to play like all these card games and stuff like that. And it was super cool. And my guitar player was sitting in the garage messing around with this. And he's like, hey, when we get back, I want to start this kind of side project, and we can use it to make money for our current project. And he's like, but here's the kicker. We're not going to tell anybody we're in the band. We're going to put on luchador masks and tell everybody that we're from South Central.
Perfect.
So my first show, I was actually showed up in a luchador mask, and I had a rental, which was a Mercedes, and it was hilarious. So I drove up in a Mercedes C-Class at House of Blues with a luchador mask on, got out of the car, and all these local bands are looking at me like, who the fucking
That's great.
And then the rest of the guys showed up in costume. Everybody got out.
Oh, I love it.
I spoke only in Spanish the entire day, which I don't know Spanish, so it was just a series of C's and no's.
We are now going to make Brandon only talk in Spanish tomorrow for 2 hours
so,
straight.
We totally did the alter ego thing for a little bit, and then eventually we liked the music so much we were just like, you know what, fuck this. And the other band kind of stopped. And we had a falling out with some stuff there, and we decided, hey, let's take off our masks and go forward full time. So
Sick.
we ended up writing like 3-4 albums, I think 4, maybe 5, I don't know, over the course of about 10 years.
Can people find it online?
Yeah, El
Still out
Famous
there?
is still out there. El Famous Band, EL space famous band. You can check it out a bunch of places. It should still be on all streaming platforms if my guitar player hasn't taken it all down out of spite at this point.
Oh, band drama.
Yeah, we had lots of that, but
Yep.
we did our farewell show back in, was it June or just before that? I went back home for a little bit to go do that show.
Right, that's right.
And then called it a day.
Called it a day.
And they sent me out here to West Virginia, where I am now, a cog in the wheel.
I love bands that wear costumes. I love Slipknot, and then when you said the luchador,
We basically
thing,
just dressed like cholos. I mean,
That's great.
I just wore like my normal clothes, like a hoodie and stuff, but I had a luchador mask on. So.
incredible. I love that. I love seeing the band The Locust. They're one of my favorites. I don't know if you ever listen to them. They're a fun band. Their drummer, I think their drummer passed away like a year or two ago.
So
Very
you're into
sad.
Sleep Token too, huh?
I like Sleep Token. I'm not like a huge big fan, but I'm very impressed with their sound. They do really
Their
interesting
drummer's
stuff.
phenomenal, man.
They're very, very talented. I would like to see them live, but some of that stuff is just too slick for me. I like disgusting, very flawed, Converge, The Locust, Cattle Decapitation. If I'm talking metal, I also like country and rap and
Cattle
gospel.
Decapitation.
Great band. They're pretty hardcore vegans. At least they were. But
Yeah,
they're crazy singer.
one of my buddies' bands back in Chicago, and I worked at Bottom Lounge, one of the security guards there, his band for a little bit was called Cannibal Abortion.
Wow, classic. That's a great.
And they like
band.
wrote it on the stall in the bathroom, so you'd see it like every time you had to go in there and take a piss, and there was like a smiley face next to it. And I'm like, who puts a smiley face next to the words Cannibal Abortion?
I love all music. I really do like all types of genres, but metal is for sure my favorite.
Yeah.
There's just nothing like it. There's nothing like listening to it. There's nothing like seeing it live. There's nothing like playing it.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing like it.
Our
It's the
first
most
album was
cathartic.
actually one of the first like metal albums, or like aggressive hardcore albums that I've done on the drums, and I actually was like super like listening back to it like 10 years later is such a trip.
Yeah.
Because I remember where my head was at trying to learn how to do this stuff,
Right.
and then some of the stuff that came out. We have a song called Rise,
Yep.
and it was some of the best drums that I had ever put down. My singer sent me kind of just the rough idea of what he wanted for the song, and I put together this thing and went into the studio and knocked it out, and it just came out so good. I was like, God damn,
Sick.
that's
I wanna
actually.
listen to it.
I actually like. I used to be so overcritical of the things that I was writing. I was never happy with them.
Right.
I think a lot of artists have this problem. Of
course.
But listening back to it after like a decade, I was like, holy shit, this is actually like. I did a pretty damn good job on this.
love
I'm
it.
kind of proud of myself later. So that was cool.
You guys see how easy it is for this show to just become a music podcast?
Yeah, it's seriously, you
We are
can't get us
this
started on
close.
music. It's
We are this close.
two old musicians sitting in a room talking about ghosts and weird shit, and then
man.
somebody drops the music bomb and it's all over.
Well, let's try one more caller.
Yeah.
Someone asked my band's name. It was called Mabus, Mabus. We were a crazy metal band, and I also have a band. I forgot what we called ourselves. The other band was like a more like a poppy. What the heck was that band's name? Oh, the Joy Feed. That's all online. It's all up there. I did see someone say something about As Cities Burn. That was a sick band.
I actually have a shirt floating around from them somewhere.
They're a good band.
We played with them one time too, way back in the day, one of my bands, and I'm like, I gotta grab a shirt from these guys. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that was like part of the whole Norma Jean kind of.
Yeah, that was
vibe.
on that kind of side.
Yeah, I love Norma Jean.
We had some
I love
old
the
bands that I
Chariot.
used to, when we first started getting into hardcore, we were jumping on shows like that, like Tower of Rome and
Oh yeah,
stuff like
Oh,
that.
man.
Job for a Cowboy was awesome
Oh yeah,
back
play with
then.
those guys. Yeah, dude, great.
I could go all night, man.
My dream at one point is to be a kind of late night show where we just do this show, but like the last 4 minutes is a live band like right in the middle.
It could just be me and you.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Just set it
You
up
know?
here and thrash.
Like Conan O'Brien, one of my favorites growing up, I loved that he would have Slipknot on, like crazy metal bands that you would never think to see on late night TV. And I was like, this is amazing. But let's try one more caller. I know we just took so much time talking about music, but we could do this for 2 hours.
All right, let's bring on. We've been in a string of new people tonight, so I want to try to keep this going. I don't know if this is somebody that we've talked to before, but let's bring on Raz.
And you talked about the third eye. I was like, now I got to listen to Tool. Great.
Raz, you're on the show. What's up?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going. How you doing?
I'm good. It's I know I only have 5 minutes, but just Shane, my wife likes you a lot. So I don't know how often you hear that, but that's a fact.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks.
She thinks you're really cool. Yeah, she's big into the stuff you're into. So yeah,
Appreciate
big fan.
it. Thanks, man.
But no, so I wanted to call in because we've just been having crazy experiences with our son, who's 2.5, and like he is a trip, dude. So I'll just tell you the most recent thing he said. My wife was like putting our other twin babies to bed, and then he's only 2.5, and he's like was just like, God loves the babies because God sent us here and told us that. And she was like, what the heck? So that was trippy.
Love it.
And then our dog recently passed away. But like before our dog passed away, he was running, because we have like a 30-acre horse farm with like 10 horses.
Sick.
And he was like running out there, and she finally like caught up to him, and he was like, I'm sorry, Mom, I was playing with my angel friends and I had to follow them out here. And she was like, were you following the dog? And he was like, oh, the dog's an angel.
Ooh.
And that was 2 days before the dog passed away.
Whoa. I think it's like what we were talking about earlier with the kids'
I
stories.
know.
They're susceptible to this. They're just like plugged in still to something beyond that we.
Yeah, but I low key like I kind of mess with him because I'm like, I want to test it. So I was like, who were you before you were here?
I've asked my kid this. That's great.
Yeah, and he was like a doctor, and I was like, and he said it like right away. He was like a doctor. And dude, we didn't teach him any of these words. I'm not kidding.
I don't believe in reincarnation, but I do think it's hilarious when your kids are saying things that make sense, but in a way they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be saying these things. I'm like, so I joked like, who were you before you were here? Before you were here? Yeah, dude, that's wild. It's beautiful.
I was like,
but
what
it's
kind
trippy.
of doctor? And he was like, animals. And I was like, what in the world? Oh, my wife wanted me to say one other one. He said, where's the ghost? Where have the ghosts been? Hold on. He said, and I swear we don't even talk like this at all around him. He said, oh man, shit. I know I'm running low on time here, so I'm trying to get it going. Whatever. He was like, where have the ghosts been? I haven't seen them for a while. And she was like, what do they look like? And he was like, they're gross. But it's just so trippy, dude.
Wow.
I wish I could read what he said, but
I love it.
Whatever. It's just nutty because, like, he just says she said last night he asked me where the ghost was. Said he hadn't seen it in a while. I asked him what it looked like, and he said it was gross. Yeah, bro, it's just trippy. Like, I believe that they're just tapped into something that is different than what we're tapped into.
Yep.
You know?
So when my little daughter she was probably like 2.5, actually 2.5 as well. We were in our house and she was still taking naps, which have stopped, which is a bummer. But back when she was still taking naps, she'd go in her room, and we have like those curtains, the really thick ones that block out all the light, so she can't see anything out the windows. She's fast asleep, and I'm outside with our oldest, our son, and we find a dead bird right outside on our porch.
You got to poke it with a stick. That's how that works.
Of course.
Find a dead bird, you got to poke it with a stick.
Swing it around, you light it on fire, you play catch with it. But it was, we got rid of that and went back inside. My daughter's still napping, and when she wakes up screaming, and she said, "There's a bird in my room," and I was like, "Huh?" And I assumed the bird probably like hit our window and died. It happens, but maybe had the Shoppa papilloma virus. I don't know, but it died somehow. But I just couldn't believe she woke up. She didn't know anything. She didn't hear us talking about it, and but she woke up and in her dream somehow knew something was going on with a bird and was freaking out as if it was in her room. And that was a conversation we had to have a lot about birds, because she didn't like birds after that, which was fun.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to call in when I'm back in town because I wanted to tell you about a theory I have on death and get your thoughts on it, but
Sick.
I don't want to hold you guys up.
Awesome. Yeah, man. Well, please do.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Appreciate the support from you guys, and good luck out there.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Brother.
See
Yeah,
you,
thanks,
man.
guys.
Have a good night. Wow.
Dude, you're never going to believe what I just accidentally found on Twitter.
What?
That damn robot that steals the cars.
Oh, nice.
It just randomly popped into the feed.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
let's look
get
at
into
that
this
really
really quick because I want to show this before I lose it.
This should be in the Robot
This
Olympics.
shit is nuts. It just swoops underneath, puts your vehicle on skates, rolls out.
They got to
like-
outlaw this thing.
This thing is nuts. I want to get back to the beginning of this because it shows them in action.
This is a better video than the other one we saw. This is like
Now,
multiple.
this is going to bring another one out and park it in that spot and watch it just boom.
No way.
Ridiculous.
That's got to be fake.
I don't think
No, I
this
think it's
is,
real.
man.
I think it's real. I think it's real. That was ridiculous.
This looks legit to me. Like, this is just, yeah. And I can totally see this being a thing, especially
You
with
gotta
like
stop it.
valets and organizing new vehicles, moving them without having to use manpower.
Repo men need to unionize, and they need to destroy this.
This move is so nasty. Look at it.
Oh, that is sick.
Nasty
That is sick.
move.
That is sick. I'm sure like they got this in movies, you know. Not that Tom Cruise would need it, but any other actor would need it. Because Brandon and I were getting down earlier about how Tom Cruise is the greatest actor of all time. You guys agree?
Yeah, it's one of those
know it.
things where I don't care how batshit crazy he is. I've been a fan of his movies my entire life.
Dude.
Like, I've grown up with Mission Impossible, and I finally got to watch part of the last movie today. I got maybe like halfway through it this morning because I was having a little
He's the best.
bid with insomnia. But I'm going to try to watch the rest of it tonight. And lo and behold, the last movie is all about how an advanced AI takes over, gets a hold of everyone's nuclear capabilities. And it's a race against time to stop human annihilation or the complete fall of cyber electronics as we know it. So
We need Tom Cruise to save us from the AI
this
apocalypse.
could be the movie that we talk about all the time. That's 5 to 7 years before the happening itself.
Yep, Tom Cruise is one of the best. I'm seeing people in the chat. Renko says Cocktail. Bobby says Top Gun. I say Vanilla Sky.
Dude, the new Top Gun was fucking awesome.
It was so good.
It was so good.
So good.
I hope
love
they,
that
they,
movie.
they left it open for there to be a 3 because he didn't die.
Yep.
So, they killed off Iceman. Unfortunately, that was bound to happen because that poor guy actually did have throat cancer. So,
Yeah, that was so
honestly,
sad.
hats off to Val Kilmer for doing that movie and standing up and actually doing a vocal part. It's pretty hardcore, man.
Yep. I'm starting to see people say Ed Norton should be up there. All right, Ed Norton is great. I do love Ed Norton.
Yeah. Ed Norton was also
But
a huge actor on that list for
Tom
me.
Cruise is the greatest living actor.
I mean, so was Kevin Spacey before he got,
He's still good.
accused of all that crazy ass
I know.
shit.
He sucks, but he's still good.
House of Cards was just fucking great.
I mean, I don't know.
You remember
Oh, yeah.
American Beauty?
Of course, yeah.
Like, man,
Incredible.
dude. The Negotiator
Yep,
was one of
yep.
my favorite movies. I used to watch that shit all the time
Yep.
when I was a kid.
People are saying Eyes Wide Shut. I was just telling Brandon to he's got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
now, 'cause it's
I didn't
great.
understand. I tried watching that shit when I was a kid, and I didn't get it. I was too busy looking through the veil. I wasn't seeing, the adult side of things, and I've been rewatching stuff now that I didn't understand.
Okay,
I'm like,
people
oh
are-
shit, this makes sense now.
People are saying Mel Gibson. I see you. I also
Have you
agree.
seen The Passion?
Yeah, it's great.
Damn it, Shane, have you seen The Passion of the Christ?
So Renee said Patrick Swayze. Hey, Ryan Creaso says Ethan Suple. I never know how to say his last name, but he is amazing. Really good. Christian Bale, of course. Man, so many good ones. And I'm seeing 2001: A Space Odyssey predicted computer taking over. That's true. That is an early one. Hal, open the pod doors.
Tom Hanks also, it fits on that right next to Kevin Spacey on that weird shit list, but also
He's a demon.
he's been making amazing movies his entire career.
He is in some good movies.
So
Oh man. Well, let's Brandon, let him know.
let's get our asses out of here. I am Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Don't at me, but at me with any crazy shit you guys have. We'll try to bring it on the show. Thanks for hanging out. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I know you guys are capable of smashing that like button. Do it on your way out. And we are going to finish off the week strong tomorrow, hopefully. Maybe we get some more information back from this Bigfoot hunter fraud, or maybe we don't. We'll have to wait and see. But as always, remember to stay weird. And Shane, get us out of here.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Always a pleasure talking with you guys. Love the calls, love the chat. Y'all are the best. Tomorrow we will have Joe Allen of the War Room. He's our tech correspondent. Been on this show. He might be the guest we've had on the most on the show, but it'll be his first time here in studio with us. Can't wait to have him. He's a good friend, great writer, great thinker. And yeah, just appreciate you guys. All the support's amazing. Again, we are so grateful for everything you guys have been doing out there. You're making the show, and we are extremely grateful. Thank you guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you later.